pandemonium. Use my fangs to murder ya. Yo soy la diosa, los demonios no me controlan. Soy culebra.
All right, what's up, everyone? This is 7 Octoberz. Welcome to Nightmare on Sedgwick Avenue. This is season 5, episode 9 already. We have a lot of dope guests that we've had lined up these past couple weeks, and the next guest is no different. Before I bring him on the screen, I'll give a brief intro of who he is. So he's an MC, rapper from Boston. He has Peruvian and Cuban roots, which we'll talk a little bit about that when he gets on the screen. And I guess I would consider his style is like a little bit like 90s hip hop style. He calls it mosaic rap, which I'll go over that with him as well. But he goes by Bugsy H. And let me bring him on the screen here. How's it going?
All right. How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for being on today and for, allowing us to get to know you a little bit. So I'm going to give that little intro about you. But how did you get into rapping, and when did you decide to take it seriously?
So I've been pretty much rapping since I was I would say probably 7, 8 years old. I used to write rhymes and stuff. And then when I was about 16 years old, I signed to an underground label, which was called Mathline Records. And that was just basically my start of creating music, independently. But I would say I definitely started taking it much more seriously around probably 2015, 2016.
Okay. And
that's when I really took it more seriously.
Okay. Well, what was it that made you want to take it seriously? 'Cause sometimes somebody tells you something, or what made you want to actually pursue it? Because some people do it as a hobby, but you were obviously doing it to kind of make a living out of your art. So what made you shift that that mindset?
Well, I would say, I just reassurance from some of my fans throughout the years would let me know, what I should be doing more and, to continue doing this. And I would say, from 2016 to probably 2019, I was still kind of taking it seriously, but not so sure because, I wasn't making a lot of money. But when I started making more money off of features and, when I sold out my vinyl, was featured on other vinyls, started doing more shows. Then I started realizing there definitely, and then merch and stuff like that. I was realizing there's definitely a market in this to prosper if you do it right.
Yeah, exactly. And do you do anything else? Do you have a 9 to 5, or is it strictly music?
Yeah. No, I still work. I still work a 9 to 5. Support my son.
Yeah.
I live with my son and my queen, and we all work. My son goes to school, do our thing, but I still focus when I'm home. I'm focusing on being a father and doing my music.
Yeah, that's dope. How do you do that? For you, for those listening in who might want to make a career out of rap, but they also have a 9 to 5. For you, where do you find that balance? Because it's easy to be lazy after work and you're I don't want to do this, but if you really love it and you really want to make it a career, you got to put in the work. What advice would you give to someone like that that's trying to do that?
Basically it's just prioritize. We all have times during the day, whether it's going to the bathroom, whether it's on your lunch break, whether it's getting out, you have all these times during the day that you gotta, still make the effort to whatever it is, whether it's, reaching out to a PR, whether it's promoting yourself. There's many, I would say there's at least a good 3 to 4 hours out of the busiest schedule you could imagine to still focus on, promoting and getting your stuff out there. So that's what I do as well. I just find the little times during the day that, even I'll be with my son and, I'll tell him, hey, give me 10, 15 minutes, give me 20 minutes, do that. And then I'm back to being, doing, it's basically just prioritizing your time efficiently is probably the best way to really continue to do it and still work and do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's great advice because I did the same thing. When I was working right now, luckily I work from home, so I have more time to invest on what I want to do. But before I was at the office, and like you said, even just my 15-minute breaks, I would use it to post stuff. in between.
Yeah.
Like, and even like for example, like shout out to RJ Payne, who's one of my favorite MCs. He even, I think when he was working at Target, that's how he blew up, because I think during his lunch breaks or something he would do like freestyles in his car. So I'm like, you find a way, right, to do it.
Absolutely. There's so many times during the day that you just got to like make it work, and you have to find that time. And so many people, they basically, they look at a failure as like basically the end all be all. But what you got to realize is failures are part of succession.
That's true.
You have to fail in order to ultimately succeed. So it's like, if you find something not working, you have to find a way to make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's basically how I do it. And I find what works, what doesn't work, and I kind of still find ways of seeing if it doesn't work in different ways, and then continue trying different methods, different ways.
Yeah. Oh, that's smart. And what made you fall in love with hip hop in general anyways? Like, how did you obviously start rapping in a young age, but where did the love for hip hop come from?
That really came from old school music, like Kool and the Gang, Marvin Gaye, Jackson 5. That was really like my early introduction. But
okay.
I would say as early as like Candyman, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Wu-Tang. That was like, I would say like Candyman was probably like one of the first. Candyman and probably Bell Biv DeVoe was like the first.
That's dope.
Yeah, for me it was crazy because a lot of people don't know, but I grew up in South End, and Ronnie DeVoe, who was in New Edition, Bell Biv DeVoe, he's from my neighborhood.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's one of my favorite groups of all time, New Edition.
Yeah, he grew up right down the street from me, Cathedral Project. So that was like right down the street. So just that alone was like, I think, a big motivation for me, because he's the only person I think from my neighborhood that like really blew up like that, So it's good to see something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. And how did you get into hip hop though? Like, was it like you just were like listening to it on the street, or was it like a sibling, or how did that come about, or your parents?
Nah, not really. My parents got into it later. My parents were young. They got into it later.
Okay.
But it was really my brother, my older brother, Sixto. He's the one who really kind of gave me tapes and kind of schooled me to who's who and what everything was, like Nas. And I remember listening to Ready to Die, the tape, and getting to the end of the tape, and I'm like, wow, this dude's going to hell, man. Like, this is bad. I shouldn't be listening to this. But no, that definitely was, I think, some of the first inspiration to get me to probably want to maybe try it or figure out what this is,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what is your family? Does your family like support what you do, like as far as the music thing, or how is that?
That's a good question. So my mother's an artist, she paints and stuff like that, but
it's cool.
It's kind of different because my mother doesn't. She's I don't know how you, like, I guess you could say kind of like an introvert. Like she doesn't really like sell her art or show people her art. So it's whenever I talk to her about like business or things I'm doing and selling stuff, I don't think she really like, it's not that she doesn't support. I just don't think she really like
understands it maybe, or
she doesn't really understand it. My father understands it a little more, I think, than my mother.
Yeah. What about your wife or your significant other? Like, are they like supportive of what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Even my son. My son was cool. He was on my album, the one before last, Sanctuary. I put him on a hook, and he got a verse. Yeah, he raps too. He's only 3 now, but
oh wow, that's pretty dope.
He raps too. Yeah, Consugo. Watch out for him. Yep.
And then obviously on your Instagram it says you're the inventor of like mosaic rap. So for those who might not know, like what is that? Like for me, like this is what my theory is, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like kind of like your raps, and like when I listen to it, I like the vibes because it's kind of like jazzy type of vibe, 90s, and then also like it looks like you're painting a kind of like a picture or an art piece, masterpiece, I
Mhm.
guess you can call it, with your music. Like, am I kind of close, or what would you call it? What would you
Yeah,
say?
absolutely. I mean
Yeah.
that's probably the closest assumption. Like it's really based on kind of like what you said. It's art, but it's more based on like the rawness of it and the first emotion,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the mistakes, the the mess ups. That's really what it represents a lot too. That
Okay.
people might not understand, but that has a lot of not to say like you don't care about it. It's more so just creating that first like impression of thought or what you're saying or what you're trying to express. It's really just like the rawness.
Yeah.
That's kind of the best analogy. Like I could like the rawness. I think.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what inspires your music? Obviously, I can tell like you're a horror fan, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But
Mhm.
what other stuff? Because obviously you talk about life and other things that you've gone through. So what inspires you now, or how do you base your music off of?
Um, I would say, oddly enough, I would say myself. Like I've been kind of inspiring myself. More so than any other artist. And just life in general is inspiring. Whether
Yeah.
it's death, whether it's life, whether it's like going to the store and getting something to eat, whether it's picking out my clothes that I'm gonna wear, whatever it is, like
Mhm.
it's something around me,
Yeah.
um, or it's something inside of me. It really just depends on like I guess the actual moment, you know.
Yeah. No, I can relate because I think we are talking about that with somebody else like a while ago. And just how like as a creative, once you tap into that like creative mindset, I guess like you said, whatever you see, like your environment, like you just get inspiration from, like you said, even if
Right,
you see like a flower or something, or somebody
right,
says something to you, or you watch a movie, like you start like seeing the little things, and
right.
that creates like art. So that's really
Absolutely.
dope. Um, and then do you prefer, because you have obviously like a lot of projects out and stuff like that, but do you prefer like now in the era of like singles, right? Do you prefer to make singles? Do you prefer albums? Like, what's your way of creating?
I don't do singles. I don't. The only time you'll hear a single is if I'm featured on another project.
Okay,
If I'm working on a feature for somebody else, and I work business out, but nah, I've never released a single ever. I
that's
do
cool.
albums. I'm very old school like that.
Yeah, and how do you
I should
base
do
your?
singles.
I like that though that you do albums, because I think we come from that era where like albums were like important, like, and it was just like a cohesive
Right,
body of work, versus now it's just
right,
like people are dropping singles to like get listens, and which I get it, like people are trying to make money too, but it shows that you care about the craft, right, and the art of it.
right,
So
right.
how do you do when you come up with like an album? Like, where do you start? Like, do you have like some topic or theme that you want to do, and then you go from there, or how does it
Um,
evolve?
it depends. It really depends. I would say on the album that I'm doing. Sometimes I do that. I'll come up with a theme first, and then I'll base everything around it.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't do that. I mean, sometimes I'll just start writing songs, and then I'll be halfway through, and then I'll kind of conform something, or it just depends. It really depends on project to project. Um,
Yeah.
but it's like if I'm doing like I'm working on the track. I just finished my Travis County 3,
Hmm.
so that's kind of like I already know what to do and what to kind of like what to look forward to writing or creating. It just really depends on the specific project that I'm doing.
Okay. And like right now you have your project out, right? Night Terrors with Wolfman Jekyll. How did
Hmm.
that come about? Like that project?
So I've known Wolf for probably a couple years now, maybe like 3 years or something. We've worked together a couple times. I've known him through Lord Willing, who I've worked with a while back since like Sabato,
Mm-hmm.
which he does hardcore stuff too. And as you know, Wolf does hardcore, so I do hardcore. So it kind of made sense for us to have the project.
Yeah, that was pretty cool though, because I didn't even know who he was until like I saw you guys collabed on a project, and I was like, oh, this is I had to like find out who he was because I didn't know who he was. So it's shout out to him. But
Yeah, he's a
it's a
genius.
yeah, it's a cool project. I haven't listened
Thank
to
you.
it all, but I'm still going through it because I kind of like listening to it like back to back, just so you can kind of get like what the whole story is about. Um,
Right.
but I really like even the cover art is really cool. Like it was it like a take on Nightmare on Elm Street because it kind of looks like that, like the
Yeah, I didn't do the cover. He kind of
okay,
arranged that, but yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
kind of was like the kind of the theory. I mean, it was all like nightmares. Like these were
yeah,
all actual nightmares that I had to kind of relive. So it's kind of like it was kind of cool because it was like a way for my subconscious to rap
yeah.
without me rapping. You know, it was like my subconscious kind of started rapping for me.
Yeah, that's cool. And what do you do when you do like a collaboration like that with another artist or producer? Like, do you guys kind of run ideas, or do they present you like, okay, this is what I wanted to be about, and then you kind of put your input, or how does that work?
Yeah, we kind of run through some ideas of what we think it should be. What kind of like what do we want to express, and then we kind of just just form it instantly, and then kind of just go through beat selection. The beat selection is usually the last step.
Okay.
It's kind of solidifying what exactly we're gonna do first, and then I think everything else falls into play like after that.
Yeah. Okay. And you just brought up to your upcoming project, Travis County 3, right?
Yep.
And I believe you mentioned it to me that this was going to feature, I don't know if we can say, obviously, this is not going to drop anytime soon, but and featuring Edwin Neal, right, from Texas Chainsaw, the actor who plays a hitchhiker.
Absolutely.
How did that come about?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm really interested into hearing that.
Oh man. So I've been trying I was trying to get somebody from this brand from the series for a
Hmm.
while.
Yeah.
And I just kept getting no's, 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 or not interested, can't do it, no response, whatever. And
Yeah.
I think to be honest with you, I came into contact with his daughter.
Okay.
I think it was through I want to say it was through IG.
Okay.
And because like when you follow people, you like follow or like you go through the followers and you try to like, you market through their followers or whatever. And I
Yeah.
think I think I somehow came in contact with his daughter.
Okay.
And I was like talking to his daughter,
Hmm.
and his daughter kind of like basically gave me the run to his agent.
Okay.
And then I got a hold of his agent, talked to his agent, um, and he was really cool. Kind of told him my idea
Hmm.
and talked to him, and yeah, worked out. He was able to do it, and he basically narrated the whole project, which was like
That's really
amazing to me
dope.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because he's one of the reasons why we like rest in peace Cage. He was my the one of my brothers I used to rap with, but we were like
Hmm.
that movie kind of inspired us to even do the hardcore.
Oh,
So
okay.
to
Yeah.
have him on it, like for me, it's such a privilege because like hardcore needed to have this. This hasn't happened to hardcore yet, so
Hmm.
I'm just happy to like be a part of the history and like bridge that gap between the movie and hip hop.
Yeah, that's really dope. Like it's like a full circle moment type of thing. So it's congrats on getting that collaboration going with him.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. He's such a cool guy too, man. I can't stress that enough. He's like one of the coolest dudes. Like so down to earth and humble. Like such a good dude. And I got him to rap. He's actually rapping on the album.
That's pretty
That
cool.
shit.
I feel like he
Yeah.
stole like for sure the show in the movie, like that scene where he like cuts himself and shit, like as the
Right.
hitchhiker. Like that,
Right.
I think that movie's still like one of like the best of like the originals,
Oh
because it's
yeah.
just like it
Absolutely.
encapsulates like the whole '70s horror, like that's like up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear it. Then, when is that one dropping? That project?
So the vinyl's coming out. I'm getting the process now
Uh huh.
for the vinyls. So that's gonna I'm just basically waiting on the The production should be done soon for that. I'm just waiting basically. But the
Okay.
digital, I'm gonna try to release that probably around May or June.
Okay. Yeah, keep me posted on the vinyl. I'll definitely like cop a copy. It'll be cool if I can get it
Appreciate
signed
that.
by you and him. I don't know. Maybe
Oh
we
yeah.
can get him to
Well,
sign some.
that's what I'm trying to tell people. So once they get the vinyl, you can go to those hard things and have
Yeah.
them sign it.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
dope.
I'm
That's
actually
pretty cool.
I'm trying to do a special merch with him, and what I'm trying to do is get a saw, like an actual saw,
Oh, that'd
and
be dope.
we're both trying to sign it,
Uh huh.
and then frame it, and then just sell it to the
Yeah.
highest like
The
yeah.
highest
So
bidder or something. Yeah.
we're trying to do that. So I'll definitely keep you posted. But the merch is gonna be crazy.
That's pretty cool. You should even like try to go to some of the horror conventions or something. I need to
I
go up.
know,
I need to go out there to the East Coast because I haven't gone to any of those. I usually go to the ones here in LA or Orange County because the
right?
closest.
Yeah, I've never been, but I really want to go. He stays in Texas, so
Okay.
I really want to go to Austin sometime and actually go
Yeah.
to Travis. I have to go to Travis County,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Hopefully, down the line I'll be able to go down there sometime. I just been so busy with work and music and everything, but I got to make it happen. Hopefully in the next year, to really go down there,
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, let
make
me
that
know.
happen.
I'm willing to make the drive. I've been wanting to go to
Oh
Texas too,
yeah,
and I haven't gone. I've never been actually to Texas, so that'd be dope
yeah.
too.
Me neither. Me neither. I've been to LA, but nah, never been to Texas.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, keep me posted.
Right. Got you for sure. Yeah.
Um, and kind of back to a little bit of the music too. Like for you as a creative, like, do you ever have like writer's block? And if so, like, what helps you to get back into that creative flow?
Um, I don't get writer's block, to be honest with you. Um, I don't get writer's block because um, I can't explain it. I just feel like I never feel like I can't get anything out that I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
And if it is, I just
Uh huh.
walk away. I walk away from it, and then like if I let's just say it's not flowing. Like
Mhm.
it's like I feel it before I even start writing, or before I
Yeah.
start writing. And if I don't feel it coming the way I need to, then I come back to it.
Yeah. Do you
But I
like
don't really.
write daily or something, or because I know like some people like that helps like to write on the daily or just even have something like
Nah, I don't write
no,
daily.
no.
Nah, I don't write daily. Um, it depends. I mean, if I'm on a crunch,
Mhm.
I've written albums in a day, but
Yeah.
I don't prefer to do that.
Yeah.
I like taking my time. It really, I guess it depends on the production. If I hear a producer and the beats are crazy, I might write like four or five.
Okay.
Um, I don't aspire to because it's not like I'm in a competition.
Mhm.
So I prefer to not write like a bunch every day.
Yeah.
As stupid as that sounds, because I've done that a lot, but
Yeah.
I think the best work comes when it's just like, all right, here we go. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to find out like how everybody's different because I was reading what's it called? Rick Rubin just released a book. It's called like The Creative Act, and
I
he
heard
talks
about that. Yeah,
about it's a really good book. I recommend it. Talks about
nice.
like
I'll
the
check it.
different ways of like us as creatives. You know how ideas come. And it kind of reminded me of like
Right,
what you just said. Like sometimes they say it's like an idea that comes out of nowhere. Like some people say it's like a higher, something higher than you. Um,
right,
and that you have to like sometimes even write it down because it's like an idea is just it pops up and then the next thing you know it's gone. It's like it's not always
right,
there.
right,
And so it's interesting. And then also like I think Stephen King talks about like how he writes every day and that helps him stay creative. So I
right,
guess everybody has a different process, which is interesting
right,
to me.
right. Yeah, it's totally different. I mean, sometimes I do write every day. I mean, I wouldn't say like every single day I write because
Yeah.
I've just been make. I mean, the amount I've never worked this hard like this year
Mhm.
with like as much music as I've put out since December, and how much I'm gonna put out and how much I've recorded this year. Like
Yeah.
it's sickening. Like I'm it's crazy.
Yeah. And what's like your favorite song or album that you've done and why is it your favorite?
That's a good question. I would say My favorite album that I've done, that's a good question. I'm gonna probably say Travis County one.
Okay.
Because I was it's like 19 at the time when I came out, and I was like really young, was like learning everything, and I was did the album with my brother Cage, who passed away, so he was on like 7 or 8 songs on the album.
Okay.
So it was just, we wrote that whole album, and we didn't record it, but we wrote it in one night.
Oh wow. That's
And
crazy.
yeah, we had like an ounce each, and we had like 24 beers each. I don't think we finished 24 beers, but we had 24 beers each.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just wrote, and we kind of just wrote the whole album that night, and it was dope. It
That's
was
pretty
dope.
cool. And are all your like those like that one is that one on Spotify or like streaming platforms or not?
No, it was on
Okay.
that Piff.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay. Yeah, because I think I
it,
didn't see it because I was trying to look for like the part two and part one and all
I
those.
have it. I have it. So don't
Okay.
worry. So that was released in 2004,
Okay.
independently. But I was talking to Kesty because, as you know, I don't know if I told you or if you know, but DJ Kesty produces all the Travis County
Oh
except
no
for the
no.
first one.
Okay.
Yes, so he's a producer from France. He
Okay.
did Travis County 2, and he just did 3. So I
Okay.
don't let anybody else produce. We good
Uh,
now.
we're good. And then sorry, we left off. I think you got cut off, but you were talking about the producer, right? That he's the only one that produces on the album.
Right, right. So yeah, Kesty is he kind of reached out to me back, and I met him. Well, I didn't meet him yet. He's in France,
Okay.
but we got into contact around the time after I did my first album, which was
Okay.
Jenny Fleck. So he's actually on my second album, which was Swiss Watches, Plastic Cups. A lot of people don't know that, but I've been messing with him since like that was. I've been messing with him since like 2017, 18, like for a while.
Okay. How did that come about? Like, did he hit you up on social media, or how did you guys start collaborating?
Yeah, he reached out to me, and he was like, he told me he's a supporter, and he wanted me to hear his stuff, and I checked it out, and it was just so unique because I felt like it was the type of stuff that Big L should have rapped
Yeah.
on his first album. Like Big Pun should have rapped on his stuff, like very hardcore, like old, like vintage, um, very unique samples, and sample selection was crazy. So yeah,
Okay.
I kind of wanted him to just kind of lead the ship with the Travis County series, and so actually next year is going to be the 20th anniversary from the first album.
Oh wow. Okay.
So definitely, I was just hitting him up earlier.
Uh-huh.
He didn't hit me back yet. I think he's working, his son's sleeping or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to do a definitely a 20th anniversary edition. Have to.
Yeah, like probably drop it on all streaming or something, or do like a remaster or something of
Yeah,
the
we
bonus
will.
tracks.
The thing of the first one, why I never put it out,
Uh-huh.
was because of the quality. Like
Mm,
it was very like old, and like the quality wasn't the best. So
yeah.
I didn't want to put it out on iTunes. I mean, I probably could, but I might put a few songs on that anniversary.
Okay. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
Uh and where did like your love for like horror come from? Like how did that come about?
Big Pun, Big L and Big Pun are easily my two favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Um, in that sense, and then like, me and my brother Cage. I remember he showed me the movie Texas Chainsaw. Like, I didn't. I mean, I was always like a Stephen King fan, like
Uh-huh.
heavy Stephen King fan, but I never saw Texas Chainsaw when I was like a little kid because my parents wouldn't let me watch it.
Yeah.
So I remember we were kids, maybe like 13 or 14,
Mhm.
and we saw it, and we had this kind of like epiphany, and because like they eat people, so we kind of roll with that because for two reasons. So
Yeah.
it's like they eat people, we eat MCs. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
that's where that really came from. But then also it kind of came from like the whole like, you know, it's nice in the daytime, but at nighttime you got to be careful. You know,
Yeah. That's
that's
pretty
kind
cool.
of where the second part came
Okay. And what was like? What are your top five like horror movies of all time?
from. Ooh, wow, that's a tough one. Definitely gonna say Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Texas Chainsaw. I'm gonna say it.
Okay. The
Gotta go
original?
with it. Original. Have
Okay.
to go.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say Jacob's Ladder. Who say
Okay.
psychological?
Yeah. It's psychological, but still horror.
Right. I'll say
Yeah.
Jacob's Ladder. I'm gonna say Freddy, and I'm gonna probably go with Shining.
Okay.
Gotta go with Shining. You know, Stephen King's my favorite. So
Yeah. I feel like
can't
I
forget.
appreciated that movie more now when I watched Doctor Sleep because honestly, I watched The
I gotta
Shining
see
when I was
that.
right. You
I
haven't
didn't
seen it?
see that. I
No.
gotta watch
Oh, you
that.
gotta watch it. I like it
I heard about
more. I like it more, but that's just me because like with The Shining when I watched it, I was only like maybe like 9. I was a
it.
little
Yeah.
kid, so I didn't understand it. Like
Right.
I didn't
Right.
appreciate it, but now when I watched Doctor Sleep, it made me want to go back, and I was like, okay, now like I get it. Like it is a masterpiece, but at the time I was like I didn't really appreciate it for what it was.
You were too little.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's a dope movie. But yeah, if you watch Doctor Sleep, you gotta watch it for sure.
I have to, and I think it takes place in New Hampshire, which is like close to me. So I gotta check that one.
Yeah, and it what was the good director? It's the guy from. Have you seen like the Haunting of Hill House like on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same
Same
dude that
dude, right?
directed it. Yeah, Mike Flanagan, which he's like
Right.
an up and coming one that he's like one of my favorites right now.
He's up and
Uh,
coming. Yeah, yeah. I gotta
yeah,
check that. I heard good things. I didn't get to see any yet. So, but I'm definitely gonna get on that.
yeah. And what about like your obviously maybe you're gonna say Leatherface, but who's your favorite like horror villain or icon?
Mm, I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with Leland Gunn.
Okay.
You know who that is?
I said he sounds familiar.
Needful Things.
Oh, that's right.
That
I was
was a
like,
classic.
yeah, that's a hidden gem. I'm surprised you know it because a lot of people don't know that movie. I love that one
I
with
know.
Ed. Is it Ed Harris, right? Ed
Yep.
Harris
Ed
and
Harris.
what's her name? The chick. She was like really well known back in the day. I forgot her
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah. I forgot her name, but no, that was a hell of a movie. That was a hell of a movie.
Yeah, that is a good movie. It's another Stephen King one. I feel like I love a lot of the Stephen King movies too, or like
He's
that were
the
based on
best.
his books.
Yeah, he was the best.
Because
He
it was
is the
like
best.
it was the devil, right? Like the devil making them
Yeah,
like trying to buy these things, and
he has this store and like
they were
crazy.
selling their soul type of thing, right? I think, right?
I see. Yeah, I actually So the album I did with Mind Frame, I
Uh huh.
sampled that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
we
dope.
sampled. Not we didn't sample the music, but we sampled the movie.
Okay,
It was the song I did with Ito. It was called damn, I forgot the name. Forgive me, I got mad songs. It was the album I did on Sanctuary, but it's the record I did
okay,
with Ito. But
okay.
yeah,
That's
that was
dope.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, even like I don't know if you like this one, but it's kind of like cheesy now as I grown older. But Sleepwalkers, like the Sleepwalkers, have you ever watched that one? It's like a Stephen King one.
Yeah, no. Yo,
Uh,
that was a dope one. I
yeah,
love see, you know what it was when I was younger? I kind of put that almost in the sci-fi a little bit.
yeah,
I didn't really when I was little, I didn't really get onto all the sci-fi
yeah, yeah.
until I got older. Like I loved Tommy Knockers and like
Oh yeah,
oh man, all of the like Maximum, even Maximum Overdrive.
oh yeah,
I'm super sappy when it comes to Stephen. I like every Stephen King.
yeah. I just rewatched. Was it Storm of the Century? That was another one. That's like another hidden gem.
Classic. Oh my God, you
Yeah.
brought that one. That was like the made for TV one, I think, too.
Yeah, it was. It was
I
like a
think
series,
so,
like a
yeah.
mini series or
Yep,
something.
that
And
was a good one. I
yeah.
just was watching Miss too the other day.
Okay, yeah, it's a good one too. And then Red. Do you remember Red Rose? It was like another mini series. I think it was like about this
That
haunted
you know,
house.
I didn't see that one. I gotta
Okay.
see. Now you're making me look bad because I'm like I'm Steve. I gotta watch that one. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then of course the classic one, my favorite is Carrie. It's like one of
Oh
his
yeah,
best.
that was I think his first book, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I have like the old. I wonder if it's worth money, but it's like the old like paperback. My
Yeah,
dad
because
had it.
I don't know if this was the case, but I think I read that the book was like in depictions of like newspaper articles or something like that.
I think you're right. Yeah, I
I didn't
haven't.
read the book. That was one of the books I didn't read from him, but
Yeah,
I loved the movie was amazing.
yeah. Oh, and Pet Cemetery. Like I grew up on that movie. That
I
was classic. And I think he said that's his scariest story. That he thinks it is his scariest story he has ever written.
I
Is that
got a
one?
funny story. I got a funny story for you about that.
Yeah.
So my brother that passed away,
Uh-huh.
I gave him that name Cage
Oh,
because
really? Oh, because of the kid.
he looked like him when he was younger. But the
Okay.
funny thing is, his name was Gage, not Cage.
Gage. Yeah.
But I named him Cage because
Cage.
I thought that his name was Cage. So I named him the wrong
Wrong
name.
name. I think we were all the same because I think we were for the longest time I thought it was Cage too, and then I was like, oh, it's Gage.
It's Gage. I'm like, I named him the wrong name. Because when he was little, he showed me a picture when he was a kid, and he
Yeah,
looked just like identical to that kid.
that's crazy. Yeah,
So I
that
was like,
scene
what?
is still crazy, like where the poor kid gets run over by the truck. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. That movie's no joke. I'm a father now, so like
Oh
certain
yeah.
movies I watch from him, it's like it. Like the reason why he even wrote that was like
Hmm.
he would do anything to bring his son back,
Exactly.
even go so far to bury him and have him come back evil. Like
Yeah.
that's some like real fatherly shit. Like crazy,
I know
crazy.
that is like now that I watch it, like I even love it even more because yeah, it's like, what would you do for like a loved one type of thing, right? Like how far would you go? Like would
How
you just
far
let
must he
them?
go?
Yeah, and it's like, would
Right,
you let them die or would you just, like you said, bring them back even if you know they're not gonna be the same?
right. And I kind of noticed a little bit of that in the movie, or the book, if you read too, 1408.
No, I haven't read the book. I saw the movie, but
So you remember the movie when he was like, he sees his kids, kind of like that, like,
yeah, yeah.
but it's more Pet Cemetery is a little more like into that. That's crazy though.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Stephen King because he like writes stories based on like shit that we can all relate to, you know,
Yeah,
like really relatable. But yeah,
absolutely.
that's cool that you like Stephen King. I think I grew up with him too, like watching all of those movies as a kid. Um,
Obsessed. He's one of the reasons why I write. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's definitely like a dope writer because all the stuff that's based on his books. And he's never really like written an actual movie. I think maybe Sleepwalkers. I think he wrote, or he might have had a part in it
yeah.
because I don't think there's a book for Sleepwalkers.
You're right. I don't think you're right. I think he mostly just, excuse me, writes the story and it
And it's
adapts.
made into a movie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Right,
like Silver Bullet too. That's another
right.
classic. I love that movie.
Also, love
Yeah.
that. All of
Uh and what about like your favorite like final girl like that survives the horror movie? Like who's your favorite?
them. Let me see. I like Shining.
The wife?
Yeah, when she gets away, that was pretty crazy. But see, it's crazy because in the book, the black dude Halloran, he dies.
Yeah.
I mean, no, no,
Or
no.
no, no. He's
I'm
dead,
sorry.
right?
He's dead in the movie, but in the book, he survives.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't get killed in the book.
Okay. And he makes an appearance on Doctor Sleep too, so you gotta watch
Oh
it.
man, I gotta watch it.
Obviously, he's a different actor, but still, it's like the same character.
Right, right. I gotta watch that. Trust me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
get on it.
there is a like a scene though that is kind of intense, talking about you having kids. So just FYI, you might want to Google it. I don't want to ruin it for you, but
I
uh,
got you. I got
uh,
you. Like the Travis County series was
uh-huh.
kind of like an homage to Texas
Just
Chainsaw,
chainsaw.
but that's a good question. I mean, I really haven't really delved as deep as I should into the horror, because you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
you gotta understand, like that's kind of like when I started, I was like heavily immersed in that,
uh huh.
and then I kind of stopped. Like I started doing like more conceptual type of
Yeah.
um, writing raps with choruses and like different types of stuff, you know. So I
Yeah. Yeah.
gotta get back into that bag a little bit, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. Just to see, like, like, because I like that you changed, obviously, because you also don't want to be boxed in as a creative. I think you don't want to be like, oh, I'm just a horrorcore rapper, because sometimes people get boxed into that,
Yeah.
genre. So it's kind of cool that you went outside the box, but you still do once in a while, like kind of like you said, like Travis County, where it's kind of based off like a homage to the Texas Chainsaw, you know?
Yeah, well, like my audience was derived from hardcore, so
Yeah.
that's always gonna be me. But um, when I did two, I didn't really like it because I remember when I dropped two,
Mm-hmm.
some of those fans, you know, are crazy, like
Yeah.
they're crazy. So I dropped two, and the dude's like, "Yo, when are you dropping three?" And I had to like delete the comment on the post because I'm like, "What do you like, bro? I just dropped two." Like,
Yeah.
so it kind of made me not want to do it as much because of shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. But
Yeah.
I'm overseeing the big picture now, and it's like I'm not gonna stop. You know, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do I'm just gonna do different stuff basically. Like
Yeah.
I shouldn't stop doing that because you know I was so like oh, I don't want to be perceived just as this.
Yes.
But if I am perceived mainly as that, it's not the end of the world. Like I could still do other stuff, you know.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's
And you
basically
never know too, like we always talk about like you don't pick your fans either, right? So sometimes like
uh,
people like you'll put stuff out and then the song that you think might blow up might be a different song than what you initially thought, you know?
right.
Um
Absolutely.
and what other genres like do you listen to or that inspire your music?
Everything. I listen to classical. I like Vivaldi. I like punk. I like um, R&B. I like jazz. I like
Yeah,
blues, folk music. I got a pretty eclectic taste. I really
that's
like.
cool.
Yeah, I like mostly everything. I've been kind of getting into country a little bit,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
old country, like country from like the 40s and 50s and shit.
Okay. That's cool.
So yeah, just trying to, you got to switch the palette.
That's true. That's true. And what about like I asked you obviously what was your top five horror movies? What's your like top five like hip hop albums or if you don't have albums like top five artists, hip hop artists?
Ooh, of all time,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's a good question. I'm gonna say Big Pun,
Mhm.
Big L, Biggie, Nas, and Ghostface.
Okay, dope. I love Big L and Big Pun too. Like I mean all of them are dope, but Big L is like one of my favorites too. I feel like
He's
he
the
was taken
best.
too soon.
Yeah, man. He's the reason why we do this. You know, he started hardcore.
Yeah.
Danger Zone. You know, when I was talking to Buck Wild followed me, showed mad love. Buck Wild's the producer for that. He made a lot of those beats, but Danger Zone is pretty acclaimed as like really the first hardcore commercialized record. You know.
Yeah, and they also had that group too, right? Children of the Corn or something like with was
Yeah,
it Cameron
absolutely.
and who was the other
Yeah.
one?
Herb
Yeah.
McGruff. Herb McGruff was on one of my. He was like I put him on an interlude on one of my mixtapes a while ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, and that was like Cam. I love old Cam and um, Bloodshed. Yeah, they was the best, man. They was the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, your stuff.
Yeah, and I always like my favorite one from Big L was like was it the Devil's Son with that Nas sample? It's a
You know, he
classic.
did a whole EP like that. That was a
Yeah.
yeah. He released a whole like it's like 6 songs, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have
Crazy,
like the vinyl
crazy.
somewhere that I found it. I was like, "Oh, I need to buy this because it's like
Oh my God, yeah, you better
yeah.
hold on to that. That's gold.
Yeah.
That's
uh
gold.
for real. But yeah, rest in peace to Big L, man.
Rest in
Honestly, like
peace.
I felt like he was ahead of his time for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody really. The only person that came close to him was like Big Pun, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Big Pun, you know, I think he was the best of all time personally. But
he was really dope. Like I don't think I got into him until like now that I've gotten older. Like maybe the last couple years is when I was like, oh shit, like how was I not listening to him? Because I was like, yeah, he's a legend. Rest in peace.
it's so annoying. Yeah, because everybody's like, "Oh, you just say that because you're Hispanic." I'm like,
Yeah,
nah,
no.
I would say that if I wasn't. Like I genuinely think he's the best.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the fact that he's Latin is just it just shows that you can do it, but it's not because I'm Hispanic. I really think he's the best ever.
Yeah. No, I agree. Um, and for you, like, where do you see yourself creatively in the next 5 years? Like, where do you want to be, or do you have any like goals?
I'm situating the brand and the label now, which is Atris Entertainment. So Atris has always been an evolving door. It's
Yeah.
always been new members and old members coming and people coming and going, but it's pretty good now. We have Nonchalantly Zay, who's the newest member. He's like one of the younger artists.
Okay.
And we have 18, who's my brother. He goes by the 18 Bronzeman. And Maddox has always kind of been Atris. So that's basically like the four, kind of the front four.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of producers. So we got a lot of stuff coming.
That's dope.
Yeah, a lot of albums coming out. I'm not really supposed to talk too much, but we got something that works with Coogee Rap coming, and
Oh wow.
it's just a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of stuff, I promise you.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. And what kind of like legacy do you want to leave behind, like either creatively or personally, like before you leave this earth?
Um, I mean, not to sound cocky or anything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I've actually already left my legacy. I'm just kind of continuing what I've already what I've already done.
Yeah.
Because if you look at my track record, like already,
Mm-hmm.
I've exceeded multiple things that I didn't think I would do. It's not all about streams or oh,
Mm-hmm.
you got 100,000 streams. Like I don't got a lot of I don't have those type of streams, but the things I've done and the
Yeah.
goals that I've already broken, the standards I already broke. I just want to continue to do that.
Yeah.
And this Travis County 3 is just like everything I've done before is like nothing compared to this one. Like
That's
this
dope.
it's the best one. I promise. It's the best album I dropped for sure.
Cool, cool. I'm excited to hear it. And then do you have any like dream collaborations that you still haven't done that you would like to, and who would that be? Like either producers or artists?
I gotta work with Alchemist.
Oh yeah.
Gotta work with Alchemist. In terms of rappers, like I used to really like want to work with a lot of rappers and stuff like that. I've worked with industry artists like a lot of times, but I'm really like I don't really aspire to work with anyone at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Not sounding negative, I just
Yeah.
I've worked with industry artists in the past, and like I just kind of I wanna reach something where it's like the Coogee Rap. Like I can't really talk too much about it,
Yeah.
but I mean he's everybody's favorite rapper. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just hoping that goes through the way I want it to, and that'll be something right there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. That'd be dope.
next level. Yeah, absolutely.
And what's like your, obviously you said like your legacy, you feel like it's already cemented and everything. Like for you, what's like your proudest accomplishment to date?
Mm, um, my son,
That's
my
dope.
son, man, hearing him rap and hearing him kind of like already know how to rhyme and put words together, like that's like insane to me. Like
Yeah.
at 3 years old, like he was on the radio when he was one.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah, he was
Yeah.
on the radio. Like Legend was playing him. DJ, yeah, Jeff 2 times, man. I was crazy. I'll never forget that. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
like. But
That's
no, I
cool.
mean, everything is from the vinyls. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I sold my vinyl, like that was crazy. Working with Keith Murray, people I look up to, Project Pat. Being in my life story of books, published in magazines, all of that, like everything,
Yeah.
everything I've done. Because the thing about it is, it's not about money because like I'm not like super successful off of the things that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's actually inspiring me to continue my legacy
Yeah. Yeah.
because
No, I
I'm not like
understand.
making millions of dollars off of it. So it's really kind of inspiring me to like keep going.
Yeah, and even like you said, like the milestones, like the things that you've done for itself, not like the monetary part of it, but like the
Right.
fact that you've accomplished all these things in such like a short period of time, type of thing. Even though it's been a long, you have like a long trajectory, right? Like you started when you were what you said, 14, or a little bit
I
younger.
started, I started recording when I was 16.
16. Okay. Even then,
Yeah,
still, it's like so young. And then how old are you now? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 37.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like it's a long time. So
Yeah, yeah. No,
but it's dope that you like didn't give up, because a lot of people, like, that's the thing, like it's like the success is like right there, or success is, like I said, success is every little goal that you've done, right? Like for me, that's how
right.
I determine it. Like I don't determine like because a lot of people focus on like that one moment that's gonna make you blow up, but there's no such thing as that. It's just like
No,
the journey of doing all these
yeah,
things.
yeah. And the thing about it is like I hear so many rappers like quit and complain. You never hear from them again. The reason is they don't put in the footwork.
Yeah,
I saw this on, I think it was on TikTok or something earlier, and they said that you can't manifest something if you don't put in work.
that's true.
So it's like you could manifest, write stuff down, you could do anything,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not actually putting in the work, because see, that's the
Exactly.
thing. Like I hear so many rappers like complaining, oh, people don't support me. I don't get this. I don't want to. Nobody shows love. You have to find it. Like
That's true.
you know how many times like I used to like get mad because I'm like, oh, people in Boston don't support me. And people in Boston don't really support me. But
Mm-hmm.
that's why I had to go out and get it in other states and in other
Yep.
countries because I found that there's how many billions of people in this world. Like, I'm not worried
Yep.
about the 1.5 million people in Boston or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just too many. It's just like you can't stop from one thing of success. Because every time my ego used to get to me, and I used to
Mm-hmm.
think I was bigger than what I was. But
Yeah.
every time when my ego gets checked, you have to ask yourself. I told my brother this earlier, like, where's the money? Like, I'm not super paid right now, so I can't be like acting like I'm, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
still grinding, still working, still doing what I gotta do.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true what you said about manifesting, because I think a lot of people think, oh, it's like manifesting is just like saying it and hoping it happens, but like you said, it's
No,
putting in that work. You have to put in the work. It comes
not
together. It's not just by itself.
right now you can manifest something while you're putting in the work and see
Mm-hmm.
things because I actually do that myself,
Same here.
and I've noticed certain things. And here's a cheat sheet I'm gonna tell you too.
Yeah,
It's also your chi and it's your energy.
that's true.
It's what you put out into this world.
Mm-hmm.
It's what energy you put out. And my chi's always been kind of on point. I mean, I've had some bad things happen in my life, but I've had a lot of great things happen too. So
Yeah.
uh, I'm just a good person by nature. I love helping people. I love people. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I'm not really a people person, but I do love human race. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like being around a million people, if that makes sense. Like,
No, yeah, I'm the same way too. Like I keep to
yeah,
myself, but I do care. Like I love helping others too,
right,
and spreading like positivity, because it's too many crazy shit going on in the world to just be like another negative person.
right. Because it consumes you. I mean,
Yes.
one person, I'll be on the phone with my mom. I love my mother, but she's like not the most positive. You
Like
know?
negative Nancy or something.
Yeah. But I love her. Like that's my
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
I tell her something good, and it's like all of a sudden, like, whoa, all right, I gotta go.
Oh man, well shout out to your mom and shout out to your kid too. And thank you so much, for being on today. Like I really
Oh,
appreciate you
absolutely.
like sharing about your music and about yourself. And before
Thank
we
you for
get out of
having me.
here, is there anything else that
Oh,
we didn't talk about?
nah, I think we covered mostly everything. Yeah, no, I got a couple projects coming, but yeah,
Okay. Cool, man.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for real. Like keep
I
doing,
appreciate
keep doing your music thing. I'm excited to hear, Travis County 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then
I
yeah,
see
send me
you
the link
doing,
too.
I
Yeah.
got you. Thank you. And I see you doing your thing too. So
Thank
you keep
you.
that up as well. You know what I mean? I see you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, but for those tuning in today, follow Bugsy_H. I'll have the link in the description, and I also ask you to send me the link to because hopefully by then you'll have the digital, and maybe I can just share the link to your album. But yeah, like tune in, listen to his story. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, you too. Peace.
All right. Take it easy. Peace.